Almost 10 years ago, this morning's guest made an investment in Myrtle Beach. It was in ice. Today, it's hard rock solid. Who is he? You'll meet him coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're in the Ice House Theater at Cool Country, home of Country on the Rocks. We're focused on Jon Binkowski, the Chief Creative Officer of the Hard Rock Park. Good morning, Jon.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for coming in this morning.
It's a little early, but I'm here. I made it. Because we've been having some late nights, you know.
Absolutely. The sound check all week long.
That's right.
Wrapping up at 10 o'clock last night and back on T this afternoon.
That's right. So it's been great. And we've had a tremendous response to the park. So
yeah.
Awesome.
It has been. Rain or shine, it would have been a successful week, and of course it's been successful no matter what.
Yeah. The great thing about this park is you can enjoy it if it's sunny out, if it's raining out. We have shade, we have opportunities to go in and do some shopping or whatever. If it's sprinkling, we have cover. It's great. And it's made for that.
Absolutely. It really is. As you walk around the entire facility, you could spend not just a day, not just a week, but week after week after week just learning new nuances of the facility. It's amazing.
That's right. Well, and that's why we've had such a tremendous response with our annual passes.
Right.
Annual passes is the best deal that you can get out there, only because as a local, it gives you the opportunity to come as many times as you want. We're going to be open, I don't know how many, 240, 250 days. I mean, and if you come over 3 times, you've already paid for the thing. And there are people, and you will see this, that, this is no longer my park. This is no longer Hard Rock's park. It is the locals' park. It is their place. They let you know, when something needs to be cleaned up or whatever. And usually we're right on top of it, but they have a pride of ownership. It's their park.
You've
they
seen
deserve
that even well before the sound check kicked off this week. You were seeing it as folks pop by the sneak peek, the visitor center.
They are happy to express their opinions, mostly positive, but also they'll say, I have an idea. It would be a really good idea if you had, something over here for this, and that would make it more convenient for me and my family. And we go, absolutely, this is your park. We're happy to help. I mean, they have ideas. I mean, they're good people. They're here and locally, and all of our visitors that come here.
Sure, and for the local side, I mean, it's not just Myrtle, it's not just Horry. We're talking about a very large local footprint here. For folks that would look at a $500 million park, you're talking about a very large radius there of real locals.
Well, that's right, because think that you can hop in the car and have a 2-hour drive. That kind of makes the radius pretty big.
Absolutely.
So people can come by and enjoy the park whenever they want, whenever they feel like they want to get out and walk around. It is a park. It's an outdoor experience. Myrtle Beach, we recognize and respect the fact that everyone comes for the beach, and we have another nice outdoor alternative after everyone has had fun in the sun on the sands.
Absolutely. Even for folks who don't buy an annual pass or coming out here, that price, it may sound a little startling at first, $50, but at the same time, being able to spend a full day, if you just break it down 6 or 7 hours, it's less than $10 an hour. I mean, it's really, for the kind of thrill you'd get out here, it's incredible.
There's 2 things that I still can't believe are the greatest, experiences that you can get for the dollar. One is movies. I can't believe that somebody would spend $100 million so that I can get a $10 ticket, watch it, and go, yeah, that's a movie. Or the next one is theme parks. We spend $400 million, plus we're spending millions and millions of dollars. We have, 3,000 employees that are all running around making sure to take care of you and everything. For $50, I challenge anyone to find any other value better than that. Movies and theme parks, it's the way to go.
That's a great point. That's a great point, Jon. This has been a dream in the making for quite a while for you and many others. This is what a great kickoff this week on something you all have been working on for many years now.
Yeah. Actually, I've been here since 1999.
Is that right?
Yes. And in 2000 is when I actually closed on this theater that we're sitting in here today. I didn't come here.
Give us a little bit of the history there, please.
Here's the sad story. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't come here to build a Hard Rock Park, and neither did Stephen or Felix or anyone. What I came here for is because I knew Myrtle Beach was a great market, and I wanted to invest in Myrtle Beach. And I was just a little guy, but there was an opportunity to buy a theater, and Mr. Patrick Henry, a local here, sold me the theater, and I happily got started here, and then found out that things were, there were some things that were not so good that were happening here. Mostly the fact that we had lost Waccamaw, and that Waccamaw had closed, and so the mothership for this location all of a sudden stopped happening. So I got to really know Patrick as a friend during the whole process, and I said, why don't we gather together some influential local people here so that we can try to develop this. Now, the fact that I've been in theme parks all my life, I guess I couldn't think of anything else better to do. I know, we'll build a theme park. But the idea was really just to do a small park around the lake, kind of a little fun and wheels park, just something to help invigorate the area. And then to get the financing for it, we brought in Stephen Goodwin, who ended up being our CEO, who took it from what was probably thought of as a $25 to $40 million project up to a $400 million project. Why? Because this market can accommodate that. And I didn't know when I first came in what kind of awesome infrastructure that Mr. Bishop had begun. We're standing on the shoulders of the giant George Bishop. He's the one that started all of this. He's the one that got the state to bring in all this road infrastructure and all of the power and the sewer and everything. We were on pre-developed property. If it wasn't for him, we would not be here today.
That's tremendous, John. Absolutely. And of course, next spring, the Fantasy Arbor Bridge should be opening, which will be a great gateway right out onto the bypass. Something that we've never seen. Never seen anything like that.
Yeah, and it'll be fantastic. And I do have hats off to the state for that, because a few years back, the state said we're going to fund this effort. And they've been moving along with it, and when that opens up, it'll make a nice alternative to be able to go down 501 or 31 and get onto 17 bypass.
Absolutely, an easy shot out, and for folks flying in, who fly into the airport and then roll right up Harrelson Boulevard, cross right over the waterway, and hopefully right into the Hard Rock Park. For viewers who need to get off to work now or get family off to school, what's the best, is it the hardrockpark.com, or just picking up the phone, dialing to get directions for our viewers in the PD or southeastern North Carolina who may have never been down here and obviously no sound checks going on, they want to get out here this afternoon at 4?
Yeah, well, hardrockpark.com is the best way to be able to get all of your up-to-date information. Always welcome to give us a call at 236-ROCK, and we would be able to, help you out through that. But, so many people are web savvy now that when they have an opportunity, they can come down and pull down directions or what's happening, events that are taking place, and so forth.
There's tremendous info online, and lots of great pictures. Obviously, maps getting down here make it as easy as possible for folks, whether they're coming, the website's clear, coming up from Charleston, coming in on I-95, coming down from Wilmington, wherever you're coming from, it makes it real easy to get here. But of course, there's other great info breaking down all the basics, the benefits you get if you pay $150 to get an annual pass. You can buy those online as well.
Yes, and in fact, there's one area in there you can take a look at and just see, all right, you have all of these attractions. What is going to work for kind of my age range? If I'm going to spend $150, what do I get for my $150 if I'm a 5-year-old or if I'm a 65-year-old? And what would be appealing to me? And a lot of it has to do with, mostly just height requirements. There are some attractions like Led Zeppelin the Ride that a 5-year-old can't go on because they have to be so tall to be able to do that. But in designing the park, we made sure that that kid also has a tremendous amount of things to do. And that's one of the things that I think we need to get the word out on. And people will do that themselves, because word of mouth is still the most powerful thing, is they'll say, oh, there is a ton of things for the littler kids to do in this park, because rock and roll has no bounds. Mick Jagger, he's a grandparent, and rock and roll now permeates all the way down to the Hannah Montana crowd,
Absolutely. I heard your 5-year-old was a little upset about not being able to get on the ride, and obviously my daughter was upset earlier this week not being able to get on, particularly as we got in line there.
But she was happy to get on Shake, Rattle, and Roller Coaster, and to her, Shake, Rattle, and Roller Coaster is Led Zeppelin the Ride. And that's neat. It's their first kind of rite of passage, my first roller coaster ride. And we designed it in such a way so that if you remember the old coasters, you would have a lap bar, and I would have me, and I'm kind of big, and my little girl in there, and she would be rattling around in there. It kind of makes me nervous. But with Shake, Rattle, and Roller Coaster, we have separate lap bars. So I have my lap bar, she's snug in there, feels comfortable, and so she can just, rock on. And the ride, even though it is a smaller ride,
Right.
it still has some energy and activity to it. So of course we had to go on it and go on it and go on it and go on it and go on it. So I'm warning the parents out there.
That's right. That's right. It's the sound check is just for another 2.5 weeks.
That's right.
Big May 9th coming up quick.
That's right. And sound check has been a great opportunity for us to get the locals to participate in us getting this thing happening.
Right.
What's been happening so far is from 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock, we're opening up the attractions,
Right.
and including the live shows.
Sure.
And we'll actually have someone on a microphone saying, this is a dress rehearsal. And I love watching dress rehearsals. I went to London and got to see a play being done. And, you know, I think people are fascinated with that. And it's, we need your help. If you like something, let the cast know. If you don't, make sure you don't let them know, because we need to know where our gaps are and so forth. Mm-hmm. And we may have to stop the show from time to time. And the audience totally is into it and is helpful.
Oh, yeah.
They let them know when they love something, they go nuts. So
right.
it's kind of an interesting experience. It's only going to happen for a couple of more weeks, and then we're off and running.
Absolutely.
No
As you
looking
said
back.
10 minutes ago, it is the locals park, and locals have been giving you some great feedback already the last 2 or 3 days. Folks
We have been doing that,
Right.
you know, local feedback from the very beginning. In fact, in this theater, when we first announced that we were going to be doing a theme park,
Right.
we invited all the locals, and some may remember this, to, this was a while ago, it was like 2001, to come and hear what we were planning to do, so we
Right.
could talk about all of the issues that worries locals.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them are things like traffic and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. Where I have had the pleasure of living in Orlando, where they have lots and lots of parks, and I lived right next to SeaWorld, and I had to learn the traffic patterns, you know, of people coming in and so forth.
Sure.
And actually, it isn't as bad as everyone thinks. It is actually kind of a nice experience in that most theme park people come in, they
Right.
stay for a long time, and they filter out. Where in a shopping area, they're coming
Sure.
and going, coming and going.
Oh,
coming and
yeah,
going.
yeah.
And traffic. Here we've got an in, and then we've got an out, and pretty much you have a feel for that, and it's not as bad as everyone thinks.
Mm-hmm. That's a great point. That's a great point. I think it's next weekend. It actually next Saturday and Sunday will be from 10 to 10. The following weekend, 10
That's
to 10.
correct. That is correct. On the
you've
weekends,
got
we're
that
going to be
Saturday
really
and
doing
Sunday
it.
where you're going to really hit it hard.
Yep.
Full day, a full 12-hour experience there, and make sure that folks continue to give you feedback. Getting ready. I think Stephen said earlier in the week that you've got a special thing on May 8th for annual pass holders.
Yes. One Republic is going to be doing a concert there, and the annual pass holders, just the annual pass holders, are invited to come, enjoy the park,
Right.
it's their park, and experience a concert. We have a couple of special event concerts, the Eagles
Yeah,
and the Movie
no,
Blues,
yeah.
which is a special ticket.
Right.
But for the most part, most of the concerts that will take place here will be part of the daily admission. So annual pass holders, I mean, what a deal. I mean, I have an annual pass. I can come in, I can see Kid Rock or Charlie Daniels, and it doesn't cost me any extra, and I get to experience the whole park, and I can come and go as I please.
That's
as many
insane.
times as I want. So it really is a great deal.
I think that's better than the $100 million movie and getting a $10 ticket. I think you've taken it to another level there when you're talking about that, John.
Well, it is kind of a textural, visceral experience where
Right.
people get a chance to touch and feel and see and hear and smell and taste. And what's neat about it is that it is something that doesn't happen in an hour and a half and is over with.
Oh, yeah.
It can go on for 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. You can stay, 12 hours if you
Sure.
wish to. If the park's open that late.
Right.
Have
AMP
at
is
it.
keeping them going. AMP is keeping them going. That's right.